There's an attack coming. I need warriors.
Stop right there. I'm in.
You are?
Yeah. I need friends.
On my lead.
Let's do it. My turn. Dressed like a bat.
You really are out of your mind.
I'm not the one who brought a pitchfork. Justice League.
Hello, everybody. This is Jason. This is Rick.
Hey, guys.
And
How are
welcome
we?
to our Justice League spoiler review. We've literally just walked out of the cinemas.
Yep.
We're back in here, the studio. So we're obviously just fresh of coming off scene.
Yep.
We're going to give you our initial thoughts. Again, this is a spoiler review. So we're going to spoil the shit out of it. If you haven't seen the film, stop this video, go see the film, and then come back and watch it. Fantastic. And now to get started into the film, what I usually like to do is talk about the lead up, Rick. Like what it was like, Justice League, big film, you know, a big blockbuster film. But Rick, I've got to be honest with you, the marketing wasn't so great. I knew the film was coming, but I've got to say I wasn't super excited.
Yeah, no, same here. I just kind of wasn't really, like you said, the marketing wasn't there for this movie.
Yeah.
Obviously, we knew this movie was coming and so forth, but you just really didn't see anything out there to really promote this movie. This is a big movie for DC, and they just did not hit it with the marketing.
Do you think there's also a bit of a sour note? And there should have been, because we came off of Wonder Woman this year, in June, which was a phenomenal movie.
Amazing movie.
Amazing movie. So you thought the hype may have been there, but in my universe, I was keen to see it, but I wasn't overly excited about it. But nevertheless, we went and saw it.
We did, of course. That's what we do.
That's what we do. So let's, we're going to get straight into because I'm really keen to talk about this. We drove from the cinema back here, and we actually we don't talk about it, so we haven't even had a chance to know each other.
No. So that's what makes it cool.
Thought, you know. So basically, the plot. Let's have a talk about the plot.
Yeah, let's get into it. Let's get into it.
What basically was the plot and what we thought of it. Now, the plot, as far as I could tell with this one, Rick, Superman's dead, right? He died in Batman Superman.
Yep.
Pretty well straight out of the film, you get introduced to Parademon.
Yep.
So Batman's doing Batman shit, and then all of a sudden there's a Parademon. And it basically sets the tone for the film. So the plot is really about an alien creature called Steppenwolf. Who's come down to Earth with his horde of parademons, with like bug-like soldiers. And his job is to get the mother boxes, these cubes.
Three
different cubes, put them all together, then he can take over the world. You know,
pretty much destroy the world.
Stuff.
Yeah.
And you know, really, that is the plot.
It is.
It's a very simplistic plot. You know exactly from A to B to C what they're doing. Is that a good thing? Did you find the plot, Rick? I've got to ask you this. How did you find the film in the way of what was being unfolded in front of you? Did you enjoy the plot of the film?
You know, it's just one of those simple superhero type plots. You know, someone's come in, it's going to destroy the world, the earth, whatever you want to call it. You've got your group that's going to save the world. That's it. That's really essentially what it is. And then, you know, seeing those characters evolve, I guess, with Steppenwolf.
Well, you know, I mean, it's a
basic plot.
Getting the band together.
Yeah.
And then fighting Steppenwolf, who's the big baddie. Look, the plot is absolutely... I'll tell you what, I appreciated the simple plot.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, I think the biggest problem I've had with Suicide Squad and Batman v Superman is the intricate plots that are convoluted and long and drawn out, and there's all these mini spinning pieces. Just not for me. So I did appreciate the fact that they went that way. They went with a very simplistic plot. I knew exactly where I was at all times. So a big green tick, because I wasn't expecting that.
No.
I was not expecting a very simple linear plot to follow, and I did appreciate that.
Which is good.
Another great thing I loved about the plot was the fact that I did not expect to see... You know, you do get Superman, but I didn't expect him to come back in the way he did. And as early, even though it's the last act of the film that we see Superman again, I like the way they handled that. I really did. I loved seeing Superman come back into the Justice League.
Oh, you knew he was going to be in there.
Yeah,
We
but I
all
love
knew.
the way they handled it.
But the way there, I thought they were going to go. I would have liked it to gone into another direction.
What's that?
Just a direction of just having just that little bit of an evil Superman that kind of didn't really, just for a little bit more, because I kind of liked it when he was having those fight scenes. But
I mean, you could have. I mean, you could have
gone that way.
literally been the plot of the entire film is
Superman
the plot
got
is
bad.
bringing Superman back to life.
Yeah.
He's evil.
Yeah.
And that's they
they
beat
got-
him up,
yeah.
and then he comes back to being normal.
Yeah.
I like the way they did this. I
But-
really, really, really did. I really love how they handled all the character introductions as well. I like Cyborg way more than I thought I would. In the plot, I like how they introduced him.
Yep.
I really did. So the way the plot flowed, you could tell there are two different films going on here, Rick. There's the Zack Snyder Justice League movie, and then there's the Joss Whedon Justice League movie. And you can tell when Joss Whedon had
Took
filmed
over.
stuff
Yeah.
to when Zack Snyder had done it. It can be jarring at times throughout the film, and you go, I know Joss Whedon filmed that.
Yeah.
And I know Zack Snyder did that, you know. So with the plot and to get kind of finitely critical about it, yeah, you can tell. But overall, I was actually really pleasantly surprised at how much I enjoyed the plot.
Nothing wrong with the plot.
All
Basic,
right,
simple.
moving on from the plot, let's have a talk about the cast of characters and the acting in this film, Rick. We know all the characters. We
do.
know we got Aquaman, Batman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, Cyborg, Superman, Steppenwolf. They're your main kind of cast of characters in there. They just didn't have the chemistry, did they?
No, I was. You know what? Like there was two standouts for me, and there was the Steppenwolf went as a villain. Yeah,
Yep.
great. As a character, fantastic. But I just felt some of the CG on him really let that down, and
Oh,
that's what got me. I'm thinking.
You know
it's a
what I was thinking,
big
Rick?
Budget movie.
I'm
Why
thinking
is
the
it
end
like
of
that?
Scorpion King kind
Yes,
of CG.
yes.
Like,
We are in 2017, not.
I'm really
1988.
surprised why they didn't have a normal human's face with makeup.
It was
to
basically
CG
exactly.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't seem like it needed to be a CG character.
But the first time I picked it up was the opening scene with Superman. When they got that little footage, all right, of who was filming on their phone or whatever, it didn't look like Henry Cavill. Like,
Don't you reckon that was him?
no, I don't know. It just didn't look like him. And then when Steppenwolf came on, I was like, oh, that's just that's terrible. And that's what really got me.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think you're hitting onto a note here. They have got problems with CG in
have.
the film.
They
There
have.
are certain scenes that
Oh.
you really can tell. There was a scene
Are you gonna-
where in Aquaman, where we get
Yes.
Aquaman and
Yeah.
Amber Heard, Queen Hera, Hera.
Oh, I'll talk about the other one.
And they put this giant water bubble, and then they're inside it.
Yeah.
It so looked green screen. It looked really cool.
And then there was that one shot when Bruce Wayne and Aquaman are talking, and then he goes into the water, and then you've got this close up of Jason Momoa, and then you've got this backdrop. He looked like he was basically behind a green screen. It was that bad, and I was just like, "This is really terrible. This is."
I
so
must
putting off
admit, there were certainly parts of the film that did take you out of it
Yeah.
because of the CG.
Yeah.
But bring back on to the acting.
Acting, Aquaman, Jason Momoa, fantastic. I thought he was a standout for me.
Yeah.
And The Flash had some moments, but his acting, he was a bit comedic in some bits,
okay.
but I kind of, I didn't mind those two, but more Aquaman. I thought Momoa was
here's
suited
my...
well.
Wonder Woman was brilliant as usual.
Oh, we know
I thought
that.
Ben Affleck was really great playing his role as Batman, and Henry.
Yeah, we know what they're like.
Okay, as for the new
The
cast,
newies.
I did like Cyborg. I thought I'd hate Cyborg, but I did like the anger that was simmering in him. And him, there's an evolution to that character. He's constantly evolving. And I thought he handled that side of his character
Incredible.
really well. I don't think a lot of people picked up on the subtleties of that.
Yeah.
I thought Ezra Miller was the standout, playing a millennial. I mean, he was playing a young millennial human being.
Yeah.
Like, that's the awkward, socially awkward,
Yeah.
pointing out pop culture references, all that. He was the audience's entry point to those characters.
Yeah.
And I thought Ezra Miller really carried it out very, very well. Jason Momoa, though, feel forced. It felt forced.
Yeah, okay.
There's a real natural coolness about that guy. If you ever see him on Comic-Con sets and all
Yeah.
that, he is the coolest guy you'd ever want to meet. but it really felt forced.
Okay, yeah,
Really felt forced. It actually jarred me quite a bit. So Ezra Miller and Cyborg, I preferred. Jason Momoa, I didn't hate, but
You just
now
felt
I've
like
got
it was-
real concerns about Aquaman. I've got to say.
Well,
as a
like I
film.
said, they've finished wrapping that. So
They haven't. That's like
that's
next.
done.
That's
So-
a year from now.
Yeah, so they've finished filming it. So yeah, we'll just
Well,
hopefully
we'll
see
wait
how
and
that
see what
goes.
it's like. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, it did feel a little bit jarring for me. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, but overall, the pacing of the film, it
had its.
Well, I didn't actually get bored. I'm amazed. I'm so shocked that I wasn't bored. There were some quiet scenes in the film, probably in the first 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, shit, are we going to...
But it kind of back and forth. Like, you have an action scene, and like you said, you go back to like a quiet scene, and back to an action, and then quiet.
Yeah.
So
I suppose I'm more forgiving because I expected a mess.
yeah,
Like when you have the director leave after so much time,
Yeah.
and then you bring in Joss Whedon to then... He did another 3 weeks of shooting. He did all this extra stuff. I had expected a real tonal mess throughout the entire film.
Yeah.
And I think they did a pretty great job of keeping the mess to a minimum. But the mess does exist.
oh yeah, it does.
So the pacing overall was not as bad as I thought.
For a 2-hour movie, it didn't drag, but it did flow okay.
I don't know, Rick, if I love this film or I'm caught in a vortex of it's not as bad as I thought it
I've
would
got
be.
mixed emotions about it.
Because really, when it comes down to it, as we're going to keep going along, that is my real shock and surprise. I mean, this film, for you, the pacing and the tone, how did that feel for you? I mean, you're watching it, did you feel like, hey, this is really off, or were you into it?
Yeah, like you said, you got that opening scene, and then you're pretty much into a bit of action, and then it kind of just slowed down a bit, and then I was just like, oh, okay. I was just getting excited to see these characters, and then it just kind of dropped me back down a bit, and then I'm thinking, is this how it's going to be for the rest of the movie? Is it going to be this slow? I wasn't checking the time, so it wasn't like,
That's
some
a
movies
good
like
thing.
you were kind of like going, oh god, in the back of your mind, this is a 2-hour movie.
Yeah.
Shit, how far into it are we? But
I appreciate that time too. I think making a 2-hour film was a smart choice because it kept it moving.
Yeah, if they extended it more, then the pace
really
would have dragged,
fallen down,
and then it just would have been
absolutely.
bad decision. But
Absolutely.
2 hours went.
And when you
went
come
by.
to talking about tone too, Rick, the tone is also defined by the characters on screen and the chemistry they have.
Oh, that was.
And I tell you what, and I'm going to quote a guy who was sitting next to me at the end of the film, the DC characters do not have the chemistry of what Marvel characters do when they're together in a group setting.
Yep.
And that's, I think, the big fundamental issue is that all their interpersonal relationships, I felt Ben Affleck and Gal Gadot worked really well together.
Because
so the other guys just didn't quite
gel together.
Yeah, maybe they need another 1 or 2 films together. I don't know, before the team can actually have that chemistry on screen. But certainly an issue for that, And I think another one of the problems with the tonal and the pacing, Rick, is that what is this film at times? Is it a comedy? Is it an action adventure? Is it a serious superhero drama? And it moves all over the place for me.
It's all over the shop, really.
I mean, because we do have scenes that are, and honestly, jokes that fall flat. There are some.
Oh, there was no funny. Like, there wasn't any jokes that were like.
The humour was from The Flash.
But some were alright, but some were just like, oh, really? Seriously? Like, just trying to make it more like a Marvel humour. They couldn't nail it.
Well, it's clearly, if you bring in Joss Whedon to
he's going to have
take
that.
over and write the script, you know that's what they were looking for.
Yeah.
They made a real critical error when they made Batman v Superman so dark.
Yeah.
And this film is a reaction to that.
Yeah.
And that's what Justice League, unfortunately, suffers from, being a reaction to the movie before it. So, which is kind of sad in that sense.
Kind of just like when they're, like you said, putting the team together. It just kind of happened like that.
Which
You
I
know
didn't
what I mean?
mind. I didn't
like it's like
mind.
bang. Yeah, okay. I'll jump in. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Well, because honestly, if they didn't, Rick, the film would have been about getting the band together.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I was really interested in that at this point. I was interested in just fucking getting on with it. Because, you know, this is where the Avengers always had the advantage over a film like Justice League, is that they had all those films to build up.
Leading up to it.
Everyone had their own adventure and story, and so they could delve into it. So your feeling of, it just kind of went all together, would not have been a problem if they've had the Aquaman
the standalone
film,
movies
the Flash
leading
film.
up to it. That would have been better. But
they did. So
the way it goes.
They did well with what they did, I think, anyway. You know, and so it really begs the question, Rick. I mean, overall, what did you think about this film?
look, I wasn't really excited when I left. When I left the cinema, I was like, yeah, what a movie. For me, it just didn't hit me. You know, seeing those such iconic big characters on the big screen, it wasn't a bad movie. I'm not saying this is a bad movie for me, but you know, one epic scene which I kind of felt like, oh yeah, that's kick ass, was when, you know, Superman comes back and then he flies down and he, you know, has that one-liner to Steppenwolf and, you know, and then he has that, you know, punch off and whatever. I just thought, yeah, that's the true Superman. That's how I felt. So I had a bit of a moment when he came down there, so that was cool. But overall score for me, I'm going to have to put this at a 7.5 for me.
7.5 out of 10?
Yeah, it just lagged, you know, like I said, with the CG, let it down really, really a lot for me, and some of the acting a little bit. But, you know, overall, it's not a bad movie. Definitely go out and see it. It's not a bad movie. So
look, I mean, this film without question has got some mixed reviews out there already. Before we'd even seen the film, there's been a lot of up and down with it. Overall, is it worthy of the Justice League stature? Probably. Look, it's a hard one because it's not the Justice League film I really want to see.
yeah,
Right. I feel like the Justice League film that I want to see is the next movie.
yeah.
When they're actually all together and the whole of justice and all that. Which they refer to
that
at the end of the film. Absolutely, they do. Look, there's some. I still suffer from this. This film is better than I thought it would be. I really did enjoy the characters. I do want to see these group of characters, even though I had problems with their chemistry. I do want to see them on another adventure.
I don't know. Yeah, which they will.
And you know, and I thought the simplistic adventure that they were on this time, because even though it was big stakes, I never felt the big stakes.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't feel it, even though, like, and I don't want to compare it to the Avengers because it's unfair, but even with the Shatari, which are just mindless drone aliens, the stakes felt higher in that than it did with the Parademons and Steppenwolf in the third act of this film.
Yeah.
This film, I'm really going to have to see it a couple more times. I figure this movie, my score's going to change, going up and down.
Oh, so what
but my feeling right now, if I was to put it, this film is very close, probably a 6.5, I would say.
Yeah.
It's definitely a 6.5. I can't sit there and go, is this as good as the quality? This is probably on par. If I was to compare this with the Marvel film, this is getting around Thor: The Dark World kind of range. And
just the only really good bit was the two post-credit scenes I enjoyed.
Yeah, they were okay.
I liked the end, the last post-credit scene was good.
Homage to have the the Superman versus Flash race.
Yeah,
which is very iconic in the comic books.
But
and then obviously the
end one was awesome.
The lead up, I mean, who knew we were going to see Deathstroke? In the
that's
film,
right.
With Lex Luthor on that yacht, which was absolutely fantastic. It's a 6.5 10 out of film. I do encourage you to you watch. Hopefully, you're not watching this review before you've seen it.
No, watch the movie.
But
first.
my advice is, you know, don't be influenced by what others are going to think about it.
That's right.
You decide whether you like this film or not. I cannot sit here and honestly say to you there weren't parts in that film that I didn't thoroughly enjoy. Because I did. But did it let me down?
No.
I don't think it did, because I wasn't expecting a hell of a lot. So again, I'm stuck with the same feeling I was 15 minutes ago, Rick, and that is, it's better than I thought it would be.
You might buy it on Blu-ray, watch it again and go, oh, you know what?
Yeah. But did it have the knockout punch in an Avengers film, or Civil War, or anything else like that?
No,
or Wonder Woman? It didn't.
Oh, no,
it didn't. It really didn't. So overall, 6.5 for me, a 7.5 from Rick.
That's it.
That's what we thought of Justice League. We were extremely, you know, surprised at the film in the sense that it was, I don't know, it's hard to explain. I'm stuck with this.
And if you've seen the trailer, it's one of those things. You watch the trailer, most of that was in the movie. Like, it just kind of...
That's probably
and
what
that's
it is.
what gave it away. Like, you went, oh, I've already seen that.
Like, the coolest scene in the film...
that's what was
one of the coolest
disappointing.
scenes in the film was in the trailer, and that's Aquaman riding a parademon down a building.
Yeah.
I
and
wish
then
I
they've
hadn't
got-
seen that in the trailer. So, and I suppose that's what you've got. That's how you explain it. We both feel like this film is... We saw this film. We feel like we've already seen it before we saw it. Isn't that weird?
It is weird. Because of the trailer.
So that's what we thought, guys.
it is
We
what it
want
is.
to hear what you think now of Justice League if you've seen it. Would love to hear your opinion on the characters, their chemistry, the villain, the plot, everything. We want to hear what you guys have to say. And Rick, how do they do that now at PCS?
So all you guys need to do is just give us a comment down below, like this video, also give us a like for our subscribe as well. Follow us all on our social media sites. And give us a like on our Facebook page. It's as easy and simple as that, guys. We really appreciate it.
Guys. That's our review, our spoiler review on Justice League. Go see the movie, all right, guys? And
That's
until next time, we'll see you soon.
See ya.